The most transformational mobilization I can share with you is the pelvic ring mobilization. The pelvic ring is basically says that the pelvis has a figure 8 orientation with its anatomy, so that if you were to stretch the front of one side of your pelvis, you'd stretch simultaneously the back side on the opposite side. If you were to stretch the outside of your pelvis or hip on one side, you'd stretch the inside of the opposite side. So I want to show you how to stretch the back of your left posterior hip and the front of your right anterior hip. You'll need a table because this is going to be your home version. And two things that will predict how high your table is one, how tall you are, but two, how tight you are. If you get into this position and you get a lot of pinching and compression in your groin, you need a lower table height, okay, or to grow a little, one or the other. So what you'll want to do is just first position your leg onto the table here. I want to try and create a box. And what I mean by that is that I want my shin and the front of my pelvis to be parallel to one another. Then if I were to put one hand out and opposite hand out, there'd be a box formation. It's important to know that it's the down foot position that determines the up leg position. So you'll notice if I move my right leg back, my upper leg has also come back. Okay? It's okay to move the down leg back, but we need to secure the upper leg. So the way you're going to do that is take your hand on one side of the heel, and then you're going to take your opposite arm and position it on the top of your knee or the top of your thigh, and you want to lock this into place. You don't want this to move. Once you do that, you can now move your down leg in 3 positions. You can move it back, under your body, and in to increase the intensity of the left posterior hip stretch. So I'll show you what that looks like. I'm going to shimmy this leg. I don't have to necessarily jump. I'm going to shimmy this leg back until I feel the back of my left hip, and that's where I feel it now. Then what I want to do is take my right leg and move it under my body. Now this one I'm going to hop a little bit because it's hard to slide to the side. And then the last one I want to take my down leg and internally rotate it or turn it in. Now what you'll notice is that my upper leg position has not changed at all while I did that. Okay? So again, we'll do it once more. You're going to shimmy back. You can hop under and also turn in to increase the left posterior hip stretch. Now that I've got my position set and I feel a stretch, I want to upright my body. Get nice and tall through here because I want to accomplish stretching out the front of the right hip as well. Now I have 2 strategies that I can use to increase the stretch here. The first one is I can bend my upper body forward. So this is what we call a top-down driver to increase the left butt stretch. So as I bend forward here, it's important to realize that my lower leg position is not changing. I'm just simply bending my upper body on a fixed lower body. I can bend forward, but we have to realize that I can also bend to the side. So I'll explore all different angles out to the right to see where I feel the most stretch. And I'll explore angles over to the left to see where I feel the most stretch. Wherever you feel the sweet spot, the most stretch, is where you're probably going to want to put most of your emphasis. You're not going to start there, but it's where you'll want to finish. The other variation when you're here in this position is to start on the ball of the foot with the knee locked, and then you want to simply let your right knee, your back knee, lower straight down toward the ground. And if your upper leg position does not change, you'll get an incredible stretch to the left butt. Okay, and we just come here. Now, you can fix this and then bend the upper body as well, but that usually gets quite intense. Again, this was for the left posterior, right anterior hip. If I asked you to stretch the back of your right hip and the front of your left, you would just simply reverse the cues. This surely will help you to develop immense power and strength through your hips and will make for great workouts.